Florida is always in the first base dugout. Florida State is always in the third base dugout. They do alternate years as far as who is the home team and who is the visiting team, and this year Florida State is the visiting team for this matchup. The umpires, Vic Carell behind the plate, Damian Beal at first, Jason Bradley at second, and Shannon Jernigan is at third. Starting lineups for the Seminoles, Braden Dowd will lead off. He'll be in center field. Kelvin Paulino Jr. is the DH. He will bat second. Miles Bailey will hit third and play first with Nathan Schmela catching and batting cleanup. Eli Putnam will play second and bat in the 5-hole. John Stutzer will follow him. Stutzer out in right field. Bottom third, left fielder Chase Williams, third baseman Will Bavaro, and shortstop Cal Fisher. Russell Sandifer on the mound tonight for the Florida Gators. Down at catcher, it's Carson Bowen. The first baseman is Ethan Surwick. At second, Cade Curlin back in the lineup. He's been out with an injury. The shortstop, Colton Myers. Colton Schwartz is at third. The outfield left to right, Sir, Jones, and Strayers. Braden Dowd steps in, and we are ready to get this one underway. We will be right at or just below 60 degrees here at first pitch, 59 degrees. And again, 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts. And that wind is blowing in from left field here. So Braden Dowd to start things off for the Seminoles. Russell Sandifer on the mound. He's getting the start. Sandifer on the season, 7 appearances, 1 start. As the windup and the first pitch, that will miss outside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Dowd hitting .319, 6 homers, 21 runs batted in. As Sandifer, the windup and the pitch. And that's in the air, fouling out of play. Make it 1-1 now to Braden Dowd. Sandifer, a record of 0-1, ERA of 5.40. He's given up 8 hits and walked 7 and 8 1/3 while striking out 13. And another foul ball there off the bat of Braden Dowd. So the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hitters hitting .276 against Sandifer. The windup and the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Braden Dowd. He strikes out. There's 1 away. That will bring up Kelvin Paulino. He got him with a changeup. And Dowd, who doesn't strike out a whole lot, is a strikeout victim here to start things off. As Kelvin Paulino Jr. now steps in. Paulino, 404 with a homer and 17 runs batted in. That home run came over the weekend against NC State. And that one comes inside, almost hits him. It was a curveball. Paulino back into the right-handed batter's box. Sandifer rocks and fires, and that'll miss outside. 2 balls and no strikes now to Kelvin Paulino Jr. It's 321 down the line to left, 317 down the line to right. As the 2-0 is swung on, grounded towards short. Charging it is Myers. The throw to first is going to be in time. Paulino is retired there, 2 away. That will bring up Miles Bailey. The power alley's 372 to left, 365 to right. And it is 420 to straightaway center here at VyStar Ballpark, formerly called the Baseball Grounds. Sitting in downtown Jacksonville. They shift against Miles Bailey now as he steps in. A swing and a miss. First pitch cutter, and the count is 0-1. 3 infielders to the right side now against Bailey, who's hitting .361 with 12 homers and 31 runs batted in. He fouls that pitch off, and the count is 0-2. Bailey, the ACC Player of the Week last week. And what a weekend he had. He had 4 hits, against NC State. 3 home runs and a double. NC State only pitched to him one time in the game Sunday, but Nathan Schmela hitting behind him made NC State pay for that. That's what you've got to do. 0-2 now to Bailey. That'll miss high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. And this is when teams will have a choice to make. Do you throw anything over the plate to him? 1-2 pitch, misses low and in, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Or do you try to get him to chase off the plate? Hope you can do that, and if not, you let him take the base. No traffic on the base paths, so there are choices to make. The 2-2. That's off the handle, popped up in the infield. Coming in is Surowick. He'll make the catch, and the Noles go down in order here in the top of the first. So we've played a half inning. Florida State nothing. Florida coming to bat. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Warmer months are coming, and don't find yourself in a hot, sticky situation. Get ahead of the heat with a spring checkup from Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. They'll make sure your HVAC system is ready, and you'll get a free duct system evaluation, too. Schedule yours at baranoac.com.
Want a bathroom upgrade without the weeks of hassle? T-Spark Enterprises can install your custom bath in as little as 1 day. Fast, professional, and stress-free. Call T-Spark Enterprises or visit tsparkconstruction.com. License CGC 1525336, CCC 1331204.
They are our love bugs and companions. They are our pets, our family, and they make life better. When we face unexpected challenges, so do our pets. That's why we're on a mission to support people and their pets. Whether donating a bag of kibble, sharing an Instagram post of a lost cat, or welcoming a foster pet into your home, every bit of kindness counts. Visit petsandpeopletogether.org to learn how to be a helper in your community. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Florida State will send Cooper Whited out to the mound here. He'll throw tonight to Nathan Schmela. Miles Bailey will be down at first. At second is Eli Putnam. The hot corner at third, Will Bavaro. At short, it's Cal Fisher in the outfield. Chase Williams in left, Braden Dowd in center, and John Stutzer in right field. For the Gators, they'll lead off Kyle Jones. He's the center fielder. Brendan Lawson will DH and hit second. Cade Curlin back in the lineup, batting third and playing second base. Carson Bowen will catch and hit cleanup. Ethan Surowick, the first baseman, will hit fifth. Blake Serra, the former Miami Hurricane, hitting in the 6 hole. With the bottom third of the lineup, Cash Strayer, the right fielder, Colton Schwartz, the third baseman, and Colt Myers, the shortstop. So 3 freshmen in that bottom third of the lineup for the Florida Gators, while Florida State starting 4 freshmen today. Sorry, that's not right. Yes, 4 freshmen. No, 3 freshmen. I'm looking down the class part of the lineup that says Nathan Schmela and Eli Putnam are freshmen. They are definitely not freshmen. So Cooper Whited, he is a Jacksonville native, attended Sandalwood High School, 6'1", 199 pounds. For Whited, making his 5th appearance, his 3rd start, record of 1-0, ERA of 3.12. He has thrown 8 2/3 innings, allowing 7 hits while walking 2 and striking out 11. And he will face Kyle Jones here to lead things off. Jones hitting .333, 2 homers, 20 runs batted in. And the first pitch from Whited is good for a strike. Nothing in 1 the count here to Kyle Jones, and Nathan Schmela having pitch comm issues. Again, the pitch comm is the device they use to call pitches out to the pitcher and catcher. The pitchers wear the device in their hat, and it just tells them what the pitch is. The catchers have an earpiece that actually the dugout can communicate and talk to the catcher. They are not allowed to talk to the pitcher. They can talk to the catcher. The pitcher, though, just hears what the pitch is and the location. And I think Schmela's issue is with the earpiece that they can talk to him through. So Drew Linder, the director of baseball operations, is down in the dugout trying to get that squared away with Schmela. Now Schmela coming back out, so looks like they've got that fixed. 0-1 the count from Whited here to Kyle Jones. Jones a transfer. He was at Stetson, hit the portal, and then last year tore his ACL early in the season. But back at full strength this year, he'll try to bunt his way aboard, bunts it foul, and he's in an 0-2 hole here against Cooper Whited. Extensive renovations here. They were underway when we were here last year. Now they've got them done, and ballpark looks tremendous. They've taken the bullpens out of foul territory and put them beyond the left field wall. Florida State's bullpen, as the visitors, is in the left field corner, while the Gators bullpen is next to it with a wall in between them, as that pitch will miss, and the count is 1-2 strikes. They've got a club now beyond the right field wall with some seats extending out below the club and up on top of that wall in right field. It's a ground ball towards third, but it's going to be foul, and we'll stay at 1-2 strikes. Batter's eye in center field. High wall in right, all the way until you get real close to the fair pole there in right field when it drops down to about 5 feet. Another 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Cooper Whited strikes out Kyle Jones. There's one away. That'll bring up Brendan Lawson. Brendan Lawson hitting .380 on the season. Team leader in home runs with 10 and RBIs with 29. They've also done some work to the ballpark here that you can't see. In some of the underneath areas of the ballpark. But this has always been a great venue, and they've made it better. First pitch here to the left-handed hitting Lawson misses, and the count is 1-0 strikes. Got the Tiki Terrace out there beyond the left field fair pole. The 1-0 pitch, that's good for a strike. And the count is 1-1. But you can walk from that club in right field all the way to just beyond the third base dugout without ever losing sight of the field. Go to the concession stand, still have sight of the game while you take that visit to the concession stands. Here's the 2-1. That one is in the air, foul, and out of play. So the count will go to 2-2 strikes. Change up there from Cooper Whited. Two balls, 2 strikes. Whited with the pitch. Strike 3 call. Strikes out Brendan Lawson looking. That will bring up Cade Curlin. No score in this one. We're in the bottom of the first inning. We have yet to have a base runner, as the Noles went down in order in the first. And Cooper Whited has retired the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the first. So Cade Curlin hitting .268 with a home run and 7 RBIs. Whited the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Late swing on the 88-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-1 the count. Curlin back in. He's a right-handed hitter. They only have 2 lefties in the lineup today against Whited. Late swing on another fastball there by Whited. And the count is 0-2. Whited's got a pretty unique arm slot. It's low. It's a 3/4 arm slot, but it comes right from behind the ear and hides the ball well as that pitch is fouled out of play and will stay at 2 strikes. Then he comes from right behind the ear, gets good extension with the arm and the body, and while he will be in the 88 to 92 mile an hour range with the fastball, it plays harder than that. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, tapped, out in front of the plate. Schmela's got it. He throws to first, and Curlin is retired as the Gators go down in order here in the bottom half of the first. We head to the second, scoreless between Florida and Florida State. You're listening to the Seminole Sports Network, presented by Wolfson Children's Hospital and the FSU Game Day app.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center?
And exhale.
Treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts. Seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue. Having your own Florida Blue health consultant.
Welcome.
Or cheering on your team right now. Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
This is Florida State baseball.
Seminoles and the Gators. We are scoreless as we go to the second inning. It'll be Nathan Schmela, Eli Putnam, and John Stutzer due up here against Gators starter Russell Sandifer. Knowles went down in order in the first. A strikeout, a ground out, and a pop-up. So Nathan Schmela stepping in. Schmela hitting .349 with 2 homers and 8 runs batted in. Sandifer 12 pitches in his first inning of work. And again, he's only thrown 8 1/3 innings this season, so I don't expect him to go deep in this game. And it really has become a battle of bullpens when these two teams play on Tuesday nights throughout the course of the season. As Schmela now facing Sandifer. Wind up in first pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. Schmela, a transfer out of Dartmouth in his second year at Florida State. The 0-1 misses. Make it 1-1 now. He had such a good weekend hitting behind Miles Bailey. And when NC State decided to not let Bailey hurt him with the bat, as Schmela swings and misses at a slider, and the count is 1-2. Schmela really made him pay. He went 3 for 5 in that game Sunday and delivered some big moments for the Florida State Seminoles. Rain still coming down. It's a drizzle. It's not heavy drops, as that's going to be a called third strike. Schmela is punched out. There's one away. That will bring up Eli Putnam. Talked about the completed renovations here at ViStar Ballpark. They are currently doing heavy renovations to Everbank Stadium, which is just beyond the right field wall. That's the home of the Jacksonville Jaguars. As Eli Putnam steps in, he takes a fastball outside for ball 1. Putnam hitting .283, 4 homers, 16 runs batted in. Now the 1-0 pitch. Inside corner. That's a strike called, and the count is 1-1. But you can see the big construction cranes both outside and inside Everbank, as that one's grounded foul left side. And the count is now a ball and 2 strikes. And they're also doing what I'm told is a 2-year renovation to Daly's Place, which is the amphitheater attached to the one end zone of the Jag Stadium, as that pitch is fouled straight back. I've seen a couple of shows at Daly's Place. It's a good venue. Interested to see what that looks like once they're done with that. I saw OAR back there in 2018, saw Dave Matthews Band a couple of years ago at Daly's Place, but it's a good concert venue. 1-2 pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Putnam is out on strikes there, 2 down. That will bring up John Stutzer. And then we've got the arena right behind us, actually behind the third baseline. So a nice little area in here for whatever the event may be. As Stutzer hacks at the first pitch, sends it foul out of play. And the count is 0-1 to the freshman right fielder. He's hitting .318 with 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Stutzer taps the plate. He's got the bat ready. Sandifer rocks and fires. And another foul ball off the bat of Stutzer. 0-2 the count now to freshman out of Marietta, Georgia, Pope High School. Same alma mater as James Tibbs. And what a spring James Tibbs has had for the Los Angeles Dodgers. That'll miss low and outside. Ball and 2 strikes now to John Stutzer. You can just hear the wind whipping here, coming in from left field. Fastball up and in. That will even the count at 2 apiece as Stutzer steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Sandifer, a righty. Delivers. And that's going to be a called third strike. So Sandifer strikes out the side here in the second. We go to the bottom half, no score between Florida State and the Gators. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Care for a Truck Month trivia contest, Sam?
Oh, you know I can't resist, Hank.
Okay, fact. Truck Month happens only once a year.
Fact. It's the best time to buy a new Ford truck.
Fact. Ford F-Series is the best-selling lineup of trucks in America for 49 years.
Fact. America loves Ford Truck Month.
Fact. I agree with that fact.
Based on 1977 to 2025 CY Industry reported total sales.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors, proud partner of the Knolls. Like the Knolls, we value strength, performance, and durability. Our energy-efficient, acclaimed impact windows and doors withstand Florida's harshest weather. Built with advanced technology, they offer superior protection and longevity. Enhance your home with a team you can trust today. Contact Renewal by Anderson at bestwindowsgulfcoast.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Our energy-efficient acclaim impact windows and doors withstand Florida's harshest weather. Contact Renewal by Anderson today or visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License CGC 1527613. Cooper Whited back out on the mound here for the Seminoles. And he retired the Gators in order in his half of the first inning. And Whited did it in just 14 pitches. As we have yet to have a base runner here tonight. And Whited now will face the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for the Florida Gators. So it's Carson Bowen stepping up to the plate. Bowen hitting .264, a couple of home runs. He's driven in 11. The Gators are without Sam Miller, who has started 11 games for him this season. He was playing third base for him Sunday against Alabama. He was ejected from the game, so he must sit out a game per NCAA rules. As White at first pitch, fastball in for a strike. 0-1 the count. So Miller not in the lineup tonight for the Florida Gators. They went with Colton Schwartz, a freshman at third base, who also has 11 starts on the year. Good change up there from Whited, swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. The kick and the pitch, that's back up the middle, but they've got Putnam positioned perfectly. Throw to first is in time. A little bit of a stretch there to his right by Bailey, but he gathers that throw in. Bowen is retired. There's one away, and now Ethan Surowick will be the batter. Surowick hitting .308, 3 homers, 24 runs batted in. Excellent positioning there. You had Eli Putnam almost behind the bag at second against the right-handed hitter and hit it right to him. So Ethan Surowick now tries to bunt his way aboard, bunts it foul. That goes off the inside of maybe the inside of the thigh or the inside of the knee of Nathan Schmela. So home plate umpire Vic Carell will walk a new baseball out to Cooper Whited and give Schmela a chance to get the feeling back in that spot. Looks like Schmela's okay. Corral puts his mask back on and gets behind the veteran catcher. As Surwick back in the batter's box, and now Whited delivers. That's in the air, foul and out of play. Nothing in two the count to Ethan Surwick. Whited, 10 on the pitch clock as he begins his motion. The 0-2 misses outside with a changeup, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. 2 strikeouts, 2 groundouts so far for Cooper Whited. As we are scoreless, we have not had a base runner yet in this ball game. The 1-2 pitch. Line drive to left field. Chase Williams, diving attempt. He can't come up with it. It gets by him. Surwick headed to second. He's going to round second and head to third. Throw comes in, not in time. That's going to be a triple for Ethan Surwick. And with 1 out now, the Gators not only have the first base runner of the ball game, but they are threatening here with a runner at third and 1 out. So Chase Williams tried to make a diving stop, and that may be one with nobody on base and no hits yet in this ball game that you might tell Chase Williams when he gets back in. You don't necessarily have to make a spectacular play there, just stop that ball and get it back into the infield. But now it's going to be Blake Surr, who's hitting .320 on the season. He's got 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in, as the first pitch misses up high here to Blake Surr. Surr is 10 for 25 on the season with runners in scoring position. That's a 400 clip. And he's 6 for 7 scoring a runner from third with less than 1 out. Bavaro and Bailey are in tight at the corners. That ball is popped up. Short center field. Putnam, Fisher, and Dowd all there. Putnam tries to make the catch and he drops it. But the runner stays put at third. And Florida's not going to score out of that. That's going to be an error on Putnam. And again, very windy conditions here. We are 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with 40 to 45 mile an hour gusts. And Putnam just couldn't get that ball in the glove. By the time he tried to make that catch, you had Chase Williams and Braden Dowd right behind Putnam and Fisher. And that may be one that you want one of those outfielders to try to handle, as close as they were to that play. And again, with this wind blowing in, you can play your outfield pretty shallow. As Micah Posey now is going to make a trip out to the mound. He's in his 3rd season on staff. Pitching coach, Tallahassee native, attended North Florida Christian. Played at TCC back when it was TCC and not TSC, and then a minor league career before he got into coaching. So he finishes up his visit there at the mound as Vic Carell comes out and hurries that along. Posey heads back to the Seminole dugout. And now Cash Strayer will be the batter. So it's pretty wild that Florida doesn't score there, but also that Blake Surr ends up only at first. And I didn't watch him out of the box, but he couldn't have been sprinting out of the box if he didn't make it to second base. As Strayer squares around, tries to bunt, bunts it foul. And the count is 0-1 here to the left-handed hitting Cash Strayer. Strayer hitting .259, 3 homers, 20 runs batted in. The umpires telling the press box to reset the pitch clock. They do. Whited now sets, kicks and delivers. And another square around there. They flip to the plate and they got him. No, they didn't. They call him safe. And it looks like Surwick is hurt. And Florida State immediately said they wanted to challenge that one. So we are in our Sunstop second look. It only takes one look to find everything you need under the sun at Sunstop. Food, fuel, and smiling faces at their 80 locations in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama. Sunstop is a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. The only way they didn't get him there is if Schmela completely whiffed on the tag, because the flip to the plate was there ahead of the base runner, Ethan Surowick. Well, they're already out. And they've got a run on the board and they have an out on the board. So they did call him safe. All right, so they say he's safe. Well, they need to take the run off the scoreboard. No, we do have one out. That's correct. So the runner is safe, Surowick. And Florida leads this thing 1-0. Nothing and 1 the count. That pitch misses, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, looking at a replay there, he was safe. He got a hand in before Schmela got the tag on him. So that was the correct call. And the pitch now from Whited. That's good for a strike. The count's now 3-1. They had a strike up on the board, but then changed it to a ball. So now the count's now 3-1. Whited delivers. Fly ball right center field. Long run for Stutzer, but he's there and makes the catch. Florida will tag the runner at second. He heads over to third. And there are 2 down now with runners at the corners. So Strayer is out on the fly ball to right field. Colton Schwartz is out on the fly ball to right field. Strayer's at first, and Sir is now at third. Colt Myers now the batter, as the first pitch misses outside. Ball and no strikes. Colt Myers, right-handed hitter, hitting .214, no homers, 1 RBI. Sir off third. Strayer off first, as that ball is fouled into the net behind home plate. Foul balls are presented by Renewal by Anderson. Windows and Doors, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Ball and a strike the count here to Colt Myers. Third base side of the rubber for Whited as he sets. Bavaro was in tight, now backs away as that pitch is delivered. A changeup for a strike. 1-2 the count now to Colt Myers. Noles trail 1-0 here with 2 outs and 2 runners on. We're at the bottom of the second inning. Bailey holding Strayer at first. Whited now the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him with a changeup, and the side is retired. 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error, 2 left stranded. We are through 2 innings with Florida State trailing 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Behind the scenes of Seminole Athletics, there is a community of supporters who pledge their personal resources to provide all teams with the greatest opportunity for success. That community is Seminole Boosters. Seminole Boosters is the largest source of funding for Florida State Athletics and serves as the difference maker for our athletic program. You can join the team behind the team for only $5 per month. Learn more or join today at SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com. ScoreboardSports.com.
Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of the Florida State Seminoles, located in the heart of Tallahassee, founded with a commitment to community and a will to win. Join Scott and Wallace at Dick Howser Stadium with the Animals and the best fans in college baseball all season long. Scott and Wallace, real trial lawyers, real results.
You're listening to Florida State Baseball.
Florida State trails 1-0 as we move to the third inning. Florida State still looking for their first base runner of the ball game. It'll be Chase Williams, Will Bavaro, and Cal Fisher due up against Russell Sandifer, the starter for the Gators. It used to be a lot easier to tell you who was warming up when we had games here when the bullpens were sitting in foul territory just beyond each dugout. Now they're beyond the left field wall. So it's a little more difficult, though there is a cutout there and a net in that wall so you can see into it, and the people that are in the bullpen can see out. And bodies are starting to move around in the Gator bullpen. Again, Sandifer has only thrown 8 1/3 innings on the season coming into tonight. So we don't expect him to be in there for the long haul in this one. And Florida State in the same boat. Cooper Whitehead came in with 8 2/3 innings pitched on the season. If you can get 3 or 4 out of him, you'd be extremely happy. As the first pitch to Chase Williams misses inside, hitting an even 200. No homers, 3 runs batted in. Sandifer is a 6'1" junior right-hander out of Tampa, Florida. Attended Robinson High School and transferred from UCF after starting his college career at St. Leo. Now he goes to 1-1 here against Chase Williams. High hopper towards the third baseman, charging in is Schwartz. He throws to first. That's going to be in time to get Chase Williams. There's one away, and Will Bavaro now will be the batter. When they brought Sandifer in, the thought was that he would be a potential weekend starter for them. That's not how it's worked out to this point, but you can certainly see the arm talent there as he delivers a pitch that misses to Bavaro. Bavaro hitting .385, 2 homers, 8 runs batted in. And that one's good for a strike. 1-1 now to Bavaro. Sandifer came out of the bullpen over the weekend against Alabama, but had a rough go of it. Third of an inning on Sunday. Walked 2, gave up 1 hit, and was charged with 3 earned runs. The 1-1 to Bavaro misses, and the count is 2 balls and a strike. His season high for innings pitched 3. That was against Stetson last Tuesday. And that was 3 scoreless and hitless innings. It's not going to be hitless now as Bavaro is singled back up the middle. And the Noles have their first base runner of the ball game. Bavaro has now reached base in 13 consecutive games. So he has done something to get on base in all 13 of his starts. And that's one of the reasons why you haven't seen Gabe Frazier get back into the lineup for the Seminoles, because Will Bavaro has been excellent both defensively and at the plate. Cal Fisher now will be the batter. Noles trail 1-0. Runner at first here, 1 out. Fisher first pitch, fastball is too tall, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Now the 1-0 pitch here from Sandifer. Slider is in there for a strike. Make it 1-1. About the weirdest fact I can come up with for you on Russell Sandifer's high school alma mater, Robinson High School in Tampa. as that one is grounded to third. Nope, they're going to say that it was fouled off of Fisher's foot. It was third base umpire Shannon Jernigan who called that. And now Kevin O'Sullivan coming out of the dugout. Ball and 2 strikes here to Cal Fisher. Robinson High School in Tampa, that ball is nowhere near the foot of Cal Fisher. And that's what Kevin O'Sullivan is out to talk about, because it did not go off his foot. It bounced about a foot in front of his foot. But Robinson High School in Tampa, believe it or not, at one time was quite possibly one of the biggest professional wrestling hotbeds in the country. Do you want me to name one famous professional wrestler from Robinson High School in Tampa? How about Hulk Hogan? It's Robinson High School. But there's a number of professional wrestlers that came out of Robinson High School. Also coming out of Robinson High School, former Florida State athletic trainer Randy Orovitz. So there's your fun fact about Robinson High School in Tampa, Florida. The 1-2 now to Fisher. And that will miss outside. There is no replay that they can run on that foul ball called by the third base umpire Shannon Jernigan, so there was no recourse there for O'Sullivan. And now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Fisher needs to make them pay for that. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the left side. That's gloved by the third baseman Schwartz, and it's dropped at second. They're going to say it was dropped while he's taking the ball out of the glove to throw to first, and Ty McGahee is livid right now. And now Link Jarrett is out of the dugout, and he's out talking to Vic Carell, and he's going to ask them to confer amongst themselves to see if any of the rest of the crew saw that any differently. And now, well, they're just going to go ahead and call for the replay. So we are in another Sunstop second look, folks. Be sure to visit one of their 80 stores in North and Central Florida, South Alabama, and South Georgia. Join Sunstop Rewards today. Shop more, save more. Sunstop is a proud sponsor of Florida State Athletics. So the review here is to see whether the ball was dropped prior to transitioning from glove to throwing hand, or whether the drop was part of the process of transitioning from glove hand to throwing hand. As it was called on the field, Bavaro is out at second. And they're already back out. And they say that Will Bavaro is safe, so Florida State retains that challenge. They still have 2 left, and the Noles now have runners at first and second with 1 out. Give Fisher first base on a fielder's choice, and Bavaro is safe on an error. That error should go to the second baseman, Cade Kurland. So first and second now. Braden Dowd, the batter. First pitch misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. And now Carson Bowen, the catcher, is going to go out and have a word here with Russell Sandifer. Cade Kurland at second base. He's a veteran guy, redshirt junior. He's missed 13 games for them this year, and that's a big part of their lineup. He's a key player on this Florida team. He's got a lot of experience. Bowen back behind the plate. Braden Dowd in a 1-0 count. Runners at first and second with 1 out. Bavaro off second. Fisher off first. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Strike called inside corner. The count is 1-1 now to Braden Dowd. Braden Dowd has a 5-game hitting streak. He's reached base safely in 12 consecutive. Struck out his first time. He's 0 for 1. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Sear going back, and he makes the catch, running away from home plate. Bavaro tags, heads to third base. He's going to be safe. Fisher was halfway, so he went back to the bag at first. I tell you what, Braden Dowd hit that ball a long, long way into a very stiff wind. Sear caught that on the warning track, running away over his right shoulder. And now Kevin O'Sullivan going out to the mound. He does have activity down in his bullpen. They very briefly had exit velocity and distance on that one, but I didn't see it up on the board. That's a ball that in most conditions it's going to be out of here, but again, 20 to 25 mile an hour winds with gusts much higher. For him to get that ball to the warning track was pretty remarkable. O'Sullivan heading back to the dugout, no change made here. And now Kelvin Paulino Jr. will be the batter. So now Paulino grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. He's got Bavaro at third, Fisher at first. First pitch fastball at 94, inside corner for a strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kelvin Paulino. They have 1 and 2 on the scoreboard because they didn't clear it out after the last hitter, and that has been an issue throughout the game so far. And the next pitch is good for a strike as well, so the count is 0-2. Paulino has hit in 10 straight games. The freshman getting the start at DH tonight. The 0-2 now from Sandifer. Checks his swing on a pitch that misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Paulino ready. Sandifer checks Fisher at first. Now the 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing again on a slider off the plate. And that'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Link Jarrett has raved about Paulino's skills with the bat. And certainly the numbers say that that is justified. 2-2. That's popped up towards the second baseman. He's going to make the catch. And the side is retired. Noel Strand 2 here in the top of the third. We head to the bottom half. Florida State trails 1-0. You're listening to the Seminole Sports Network, presented by Wilson Children's Hospital and the FSU Game Day app.
At ViStar Credit Union, we go the extra mile to bring Florida State fans better banking. Open a ViStar Plus checking account and unlock up to $570 in annual savings. Enjoy perks like getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, identity and phone protection, and so much more. All for just $5.99 a month. To learn more, visit one of ViStar's local branches or visit ViStarCU.org. ViStar Credit Union, proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Go Noles!
Seminole fans, it's time to cheer for our healthcare partner for life, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare. Serving 21 counties across North Florida and South Georgia, TMH provides cutting-edge, life-saving medical care for the Big Bend region. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
Noles fans, agents who are realtors have the expertise to guide you as you make your next move. Find a realtor, a member of the Tallahassee Board of Realtors today at tbrnet.org. Cooper Whited back out on the mound here. Noles trail 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And it will be the top of the order due up for the Gators. Gators struck first. Ethan Surwick, the first baseman, tripled on a ball that Chase Williams dove for but couldn't come up with it. Got by him and went all the way to the wall. And Surwick was able to chug his way around the base paths to third base. And then he was able to score on a squeeze bunt by Cash Strayer. The Noles actually had a chance to get him at the plate. Flip to the plate was there, but Surwick got a hand in on the plate before the tag by Schmela. And that's where we stand now, 1-0, as we begin the bottom half of the third inning. Kyle Jones to start things off for the Gators here. Kyle Jones struck out his first time up. As Whited, first pitch, misses inside, and the count is a ball and no strikes. 36th pitch of the outing for Cooper Whited. He's given up 1 hit and 1 earned run with 3 strikeouts. He has yet to walk a hitter. That one is fouled off as it will hit the net above the on-deck batter. And the count is now 1-1 to Kyle Jones. I think we've still got a little bit of a drizzle coming down here at the ballpark. Clouds around us getting darker as that one's on the inside corner for a strike, and the count is 1-2. That's a fastball from Cooper Whited. Whited out of Gulf Coast State College. He's a hometown kid here. He tried to go right back to that corner again, and this time he doesn't get it from Vic Correll. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. But Sandalwood High School here in Jacksonville for Whited before 2 years at Gulf Coast State College. 2-2 offering. Swung on, that's in the air to right field. Stutzer under it now. The wind takes it, and Stutzer takes off to his left, but makes the catch at the warning track. And there's 1 out. That'll bring up Brendan Lawson. And you've got to be aware of that wind if you're in the outfield. Well, if you're in the infield, any pop-up is going to be affected by that wind. And you've definitely got to be mobile and not just set up and wait. You're going to have to move because that ball is not going to stay on its path. The Noles shift here against Brendan Lawson, the left-handed hitter. They bring Bavaro from third base over to the right side of the infield. As that pitch is good for a strike, a fastball at 88 from Cooper Whited. So a 1-strike count here to Brendan Lawson. And that one is fouled off. It'll get up on top of the roof just to my left. So Whited ahead, 2 strikes in this count against Brendan Lawson. Lawson taking every bit of his allowed time to get back in the batter's box. 7 on the pitch clock now as Whited delivers. Saws him off. That's going to be trouble, though, but Whited, what a play. Basket catch running towards second over his shoulder on a handle shot. And now there are 2 outs. That'll bring up Cade Curlin. Gators lead 1-0 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Cade Curlin out of Berkeley Prep in Tampa. As Whited delivers. I've got a fun fact about Berkeley, too. Berkeley Prep's football coach, Dominic Sayo, was my offensive line coach in high school at Jesuit. The 1-0 pitch. Grounder off the end of the bat. Bailey tries to pick it up, and he's not able to handle it. That's going to be an error on Miles Bailey. And that's his first error of the season. That was off the end of the bat and had a little clockwise spin to it. And as it spun through the grass, it kind of hit on that glove and spun on the glove as well. And Bailey just couldn't get it in the glove. So 2 outs now, runner at first. Carson Bowen now will be the batter. So Bowen, who grounded out to Eli Putnam at second. Putnam almost behind the bag at second. That's where he was last time. They've got it picked off. Oh, man, that was close. Whited almost had him. He had Curlin going the wrong way, but the throw was a little bit to the plate side there, so Bailey had a long way to go to swipe back. And Curlin was able to get a hand in. And that pitch is delivered and fouled off. Cade Curlin's alma mater. He played for Richie Warren at Berkeley Prep. Richie Warren coached a number of guys who came through the Florida State program because he used to coach at Jesuit High School himself. The 0-1 from Whited. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2 the count out of Carson Bowen. Noles trail 1-0. 2 outs, runner at first. And an 0-2 count here to the catcher. Whited, third base side of the rubber from the stretch. The 0-2 pitch. He really shortens up that leg kick when he has a runner at first. Does a good job holding runners on. Curlin not much of a lead over there at first. Whited eyeing him, still looking at him as he kicks the leg, delivers a fastball that misses up high, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. It's in the air, fouling out of play, and we'll stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Carson Bowen, 2 weeks ago in Gainesville on March the 10th, he went 1 for 2 with a walk. Last time Florida State met the Gators. Another 2-2 pitch and a line drive foul down the left field line. We stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cade Curlin down at first. Bailey holding him. Whited to the belt as he gets the pitch call in from Micah Posey. And he delivers. And that one is fouled off the other direction. So that's over to the right. And that got up on top of the roof here. It's a good crowd here, though. I'm sure some were deterred by the weather. So probably not the kind of crowd we normally would have here. As that's a called third strike, a fastball on the inner third. Carson Bowen is out, and that'll do it for the Gators here in the third. No runs, no hits, 1 error, 1 left stranded. We played 3 complete here in Jacksonville with Florida State trailing 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
At TOC, our physicians are fellowship trained and board certified specialists with the most advanced training in the region. Our mission is to provide the highest level of care for sports medicine, joint replacement, pain management, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, spine, trauma, pediatrics, and non-surgical medicine. Every specialty, every treatment option. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure that your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you. Schedule an appointment today at baranoac.com. That's baranoac.com.
This is Florida State Baseball.
And the Gators go to the bullpen. They'll bring in Luke McNeely, 6'3", 200-pound junior right-hander out of Milton, Georgia. And for McNeely, this is his 8th appearance, his 5th out of the bullpen. He's got a record of 2-0 with an ERA of 3.86. He's allowed 14 hits and walked 7 in 14 innings while striking out 15. And batters are hitting .241 against McNeely. So Sandifer's night is done. 3 innings, 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts for Russell Sandifer as he gives way here to Luke McNeely. And he will face Miles Bailey, Nathan Schmela, and Eli Putnam here In the top of the fourth inning, Noles trail 1-0. And the first pitch is a strike to Miles Bailey. Bailey popped out to the first baseman his first time up. We did see McNeely 2 weeks ago. He went 2 2/3, gave up 3 hits and a run with a walk and 3 strikeouts as he misses up high to Miles Bailey. And the count is 1-1 strike. And he grounds that one foul past Brad Vanderglass, the first base coach. Ty McGahee is the third base coach for the Seminoles. We saw McNeely in all 3 games last year as he threw a total of 6 1/3 innings against the Noles. Miles Bailey just put one inside the tarp roll. Oh, it went out the other end. Okay. It was like he was surfing the pipeline there. Here's the pitch. That one is in the air, giving chase. The shortstop, Colt Myers, but that's up into the stands. They do not have, Myers is the only one on the left side. They brought the third baseman, Schwartz, over to the right side, and 3 infielders on that side of the infield. A ball has gone over the fence from the grass berm down the left field line, and Blake Sear got it and tossed it back to the kids over there as that pitch misses down low to Bailey, and the count is 2 strikes. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error for the Gators, 0-1-2 for the Seminoles. We're in the top of the fourth. Nobody on, nobody out. Bailey fouls that one off. Stay at 2 strikes. The 2-2. And Bailey tried to check his swing on a pitch off the plate, but didn't stop it in time. So he strikes out. There's 1 away. That will bring up Nathan Schmela. So Nathan Schmela, who struck out looking his first time up, 7-game hitting streak. He's 11 for 29 during the streak. As he steps in here. Swing and a miss on the first pitch there from Luke McNeely. McNeely works very quick. He's already ready to go here. Schmela steps back in. The 0-1. That's called a strike, make it 0-2. And now the 0-2 pitch here from McNeely as he waits on Schmela. Schmela ready. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Schmela out. And there are 2 down. That will bring up Eli Putnam. It's going to be very hard in these conditions to make up any kind of deficit with 1 swing. Wind blowing in and a lot of it. As Putnam, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, swings and misses at a slider there from Luke McNeely. 0-1 the count. Putnam, the transfer out of Davidson. He's from Cabin John, Maryland. 0-1 pitch in there for a strike, 0-2. It's another slider from McNeely. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. And Luke McNeely comes in, strikes out the side in his first inning of work. We're halfway through 4. Florida State trails 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Do we buy or rent?
How do I understand the housing market in my area?
How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
What's affordable in the neighborhood I want to buy?
Does it have a 2-car garage?
Does it have a fireplace?
What about a pool?
Does it have vaulted ceilings?
A realtor is your neighbor and ally, someone who understands your dreams and has the expertise to make them a reality.
Call a member of the Tallahassee Board of Realtors today. Visit us online at tbrnet.org to find a realtor.
The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, serving our community since 1935.
Hey, Seminole Seminole fans, warm weather is approaching, and you know what that means. Bugs like termites, mosquitoes, and roaches will be out in full force. Luckily, you can trust the pros at Arrow Exterminators to keep your home pest-free inside and out. Arrow protects homes and businesses in the Tallahassee area and is a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. So you know that you're getting the best from the best. To set up a free pest inspection, call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. That's 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com.
Comebacks begin here. Wolfson Children's Hospital, always here. Wolfson Children's is proud to be the official children's hospital of Florida State Athletics. Cooper Whited back out on the mound, and he has been very good so far for the Seminoles. Florida pitching has been just a hair better than Cooper Whited to this point. That's why the Noles trail 1-0. Whited so far, 3 innings, 1 hit, no walks, 4 strikeouts. And really, I don't even know if that's fair to Cooper Whited to say that Florida pitching has been a little bit better. The difference in this one has been a fly ball to left field that Chase Williams dove for, couldn't come up with, that ended up going all the way to the wall. It resulted in a triple. Braden Dowd hit a ball much further and harder than that, but it was run down at the warning track by Blake Sear, who made a fantastic defensive play on it. And that, to me, is really the difference in this game so far, those 2 at-bats. As Ethan Surowick starts things off, and Cooper Whited misses on the first pitch. We've got sideways rain coming down. And that one will miss as well. 2 balls and no strikes now to Ethan Surowick. You can see, and it's kind of a misty drizzle, but you can see it in the lights here that it is dead sideways. As fastball by Cooper Whited is waved at and missed by Ethan Surowick. And it's now 2-1 here to Surowick. And it was Surowick who had that triple and scored the lone run of this ball game. That was back in the 2nd inning. We're in the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0. As Surowick fouls one off, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 now from Whited. And that one is tapped foul. Oh, no, it's not foul. Shmela picked it up and tagged the runner out, who was standing there in the box. So that was not a foul ball. Ethan Surowick out, 2 unassisted. You don't see too many 2 unassists in the game of baseball. As Blake Sir now will be the batter. He reached on an error by Eli Putnam his first time up. Blake Sir, the transfer out of Miami. He's from Windermere, Florida, Windermere High School. And he pops up the first pitch. Bailey giving chase. I feel like the wind's going to take this one out of play, and it does. That one off the bat looked like it was going to be a fair ball to Miles Bailey, and it ended up about 12 rows up in the stands. That's how hard the wind's blowing here. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for the Gators. No runs, 1 hit, 2 errors for the Seminoles. We're in the bottom of the 4th, nobody on and 1 out. As Whited delivers. Check swing, that's going to be a base hit. So Blake Sir gets the excuse me check swing single. And a runner at first here with 1 out. That'll bring up Cash Strayer. It's just the 2nd hit allowed by Cooper Whited. He is now at 60 pitches. And now that brings up the left-handed hitting Cash Strayer with a runner at first and 1 out. First pitch from Whited, fastball good for a strike. This is a season high for Cooper Whited in pitches thrown. He threw 43 last Tuesday in a start against Bethune-Cookman and 44 the Tuesday 2 weeks before against Mercer. Throw over, not in time. He went 3 innings against Mercer, 3 1/3 against Bethune-Cookman. He's gone 3 1/3 here tonight, so that equals his longest outing as a Seminole. The 0-1 pitch. Curveball, that is put in between Bailey and Putnam. That's going to be a base hit. Runner heading to third, throw coming in, and they got him. They get Blake Sir trying to go first to third on the base hit. And while that was going on at second, at third, Cash Strayer ends up at second, and now we are going to get the umpires heading off for another Sunstop second look. Be sure to visit one of their 80 stores in North and Central Florida, South Alabama, and South Georgia. Join Sunstop Rewards today. Shop more, save more. Sunstop is a proud sponsor of Florida State Athletics. So we are going to have a challenge here as called on the field. The runner, Blake Sir, is out at third. That was a fantastic throw by John Stutzer, by the way. I don't want to lose sight of that fact while we have this review. So if the ruling on the field is upheld, it will be a runner at second with 2 outs. But my goodness, that's a good throw by Stutzer. This is the longest they've been off for a review. Well, Blake Sir might have a pretty good argument here. Oh, I think he's going to be safe. They're coming back out now. Nope, they say he's out. I thought one of the angles that I saw, it looked like he got a hand in before the tag, but the umpires say no. So maybe his, yes, I see what. So the hand came off the bag. The hand initially got into the base, but the hand came off the bag as Bavaro was making the tag. So the call on the field stands. So there are 2 outs with Cash Strayer down at second base. And what a throw by John Stutzer as Micah Posey heading out to the mound here. That's going to go down as a 9-5 put out at third, and slap that throw on the highlight reels. Strayer gets a single and moves to second on the throw to third base. So Micah Posey goes out. He's going to make the Kowalski call to the bullpen. For all your sausage needs, trust the Sausage King of Detroit. To order, go to the website, Kowality.com, Kowality.com. New pitcher coming in for the Seminoles here. Looks like Cole Stokes will be up next for the Noles while he makes his way to the mound. We'll take a break. Noles trailing 1-0. Florida's got a runner at second and 2 outs. And Cole Stokes coming to the mound here for the Seminoles to face Colton Schwartz. When we return, you're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Behind the scenes of Seminole Athletics, there is a community of supporters who pledge their personal resources to provide all teams with the greatest opportunity for success. That community is Seminole Boosters. Seminole Boosters is the largest source of funding for Florida State Athletics and serves as the difference maker for our athletic program. You can join the team behind the team for only $5 per month. Learn more or join today at SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com.
At TOC, our physicians are fellowship trained and board certified specialists with the most advanced training in the region. Our mission is to provide the highest level of care for sports medicine, joint replacement, pain management, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, spine, trauma, pediatrics, and non-surgical medicine. Every specialty, every treatment option. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
This is Florida State Baseball.
Cooper Whitehead's longest outing as a Seminole ends after 3 2/3 innings. He allowed 3 hits, did not walk a batter, and struck out 4. He's been charged with 1 earned run. He's responsible for Cash Strayer down at second base. And now Cole Stokes is on for the Noles. 6'6", 229-pound junior right-hander out of Redondo Beach, California. Redondo Union High School, then 2 years at Oregon, and now here at Florida State. Cole Stokes has recorded 10 strikeouts in 7 1/3 innings, only allowing 3 hits while walking 9. He has no record and an ERA of 2.45. Batters are hitting 120 against Cole Stokes, and that's really been the story of his college career. A big, big, big arm with loads of potential who doesn't give up a lot of hits, but does on occasion walk a number of batters. Rain coming down a little harder. Still sideways and still a misting rain, but there's more of it now. So Stokes now facing Colton Schwartz, a freshman. And the first pitch, that's sent in the air to right center field. Dowd and Stutzer are there. Stutzer calls for it. He makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 2 hits, 1 left stranded. After 4, it's Florida 1, Florida State nothing. You're listening to the Seminole Sports Network, presented by Wilson Children's Hospital and the FSU Game Day app.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather around, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig with all your slow smoke favorites and sides. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Order now at sonnysbbq.com. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
This is Robert Scott, partner at Scott & Wallace, the official injury lawyers of the Florida State Seminoles. Located in the heart of Tallahassee, founded with a commitment to community and a will to win. Join Scott & Wallace at Dick Hauser Stadium with the Animals and the best fans in college baseball all season long. Let's get it, Noles. Scott & Wallace, real trial lawyers, real results.
You're listening to Florida State Baseball.
At 5-Star Credit Union, you inspire us to go the extra mile to meet your financial needs. That's why we offer Florida State fans more banking options, like better rates and no hidden fees. Our team is also dedicated to making the communities we serve stronger, volunteering our time and talents while donating millions to local nonprofits. To learn more, visit 5starcu.org. 5-Star Credit Union, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics, and we are in the 5-Star Ballpark here in Jacksonville. The Noles trail 1-0 as we move to the 5th inning, and it'll be John Stutzer, Chase Williams, and Will Bavaro due up here against Luke McNeely, who is the second pitcher of the night for the Florida Gators. Russell Sandifer started, 3 innings, 1 hit, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. McNeely has faced 3 batters and struck them all out, but that's a hot shot by Stutzer off the glove of Schwartz, the third baseman. Stutzer is going to head to second, and he is going to go all the way to third base as the throw comes in, and they got it. So that's going to go down as a double with Stutzer thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. And now Chase Williams will be the batter. So 1 out, nobody on base. So Chase Williams facing Luke McNeely. Trying to get the pitch clock reset and running. Now it is, and McNeely will deliver as Chase Williams takes a fastball up high. That's going to go down as a 6-5 putout as the shortstop, Myers, had gone all the way out there to left field to try to retrieve that ball. He was down in the corner there with Blake Sear, the left fielder, but it was Myers who got to it first, and he threw a dart to Schwartz at third base to gun down John Stutzer as Chase Williams will try to bunt his way aboard on a 2-0 pitch, but bunts it foul to the third base side. So 2 balls and a strike now to Chase Williams, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Here's the 2-1 pitch, and he takes a hack at that, sends it foul out of play. 2-2 the count. 94-mile-an-hour fastball there from Luke McNeely. Rain still coming down here at VyStar Ballpark. Swing and a miss. Chase Williams strikes out. That will bring up Will Bavaro. And there are 2 down. 1-0 Florida State trails. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Bavaro 1 for 1 with a base hit. He's got one of the 2 Seminole hits. The other one was Stutzer's double, where he just got thrown out at third base. As Bavaro swings and misses. 0-1 the count here from McNeely to Bavaro. Bavaro was 1 for 3 with an RBI in Gainesville 2 weeks ago against the Gators. The 0-1 pitch. Inside corner for a strike, make it 0-2. McNeely, the 0-2 delivery. And that'll miss outside. Bavaro, freshman out of Park Vista. He's from Lake Worth. Making his 13th consecutive start, he has reached base safely in all 13 games. The 1-2 pitch misses inside, and that evens it up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Gators, 0-2-2 for the Seminoles. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Bavaro out. And that'll do it for the Noles here in the top of the 5th. We're halfway through this one. Florida State trails 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors, proud partner of the Noles. Like the Noles, we value strength, performance, and durability. Our energy-efficient, acclaimed impact windows and doors withstand Florida's harshest weather. Built with advanced technology, they offer superior protection and longevity. Enhance your home with a team you can trust today. Contact Renewal by Anderson at bestwindowsgulfcoast.com. License number CGC 1527613.
Are you ready for the ultimate game day experience? Look no further than Sunstop Convenience Stores. With the fuel to keep you going, snacks, hot deli items, and more, Sunstop is the perfect teammate to knock your game days out of the park. Join our rewards program to rack up points with every purchase and use the points to save money on fuel. The more you shop, the more you save. Add our Sunny Saver payment card and save even more money on every fuel purchase. Sunstop Convenience Stores are your MVP for game day. Sunstop, we're from here. Go Noles!
Hey, Noles fans, join us tomorrow night. That's March 25th for Inside Seminole Baseball with Link Jarrett. From 7 to 8 p.m. live at Bowden's in College Town. Enjoy food and drinks at the FSU-themed bar and grill. And hear from the head coach, players, and more. For those of you who can't make it, you can watch the show live on all Florida State baseball social platforms or listen in on the Seminole Sports Network. I will be there with Link, and we've got a couple of players lined up. Should be a good time. Cole Stokes back out on the mound for the Seminoles here, and he will face the 9-1 and 2 spots in the Gator lineup here in the bottom of the 5th. 1-0 Florida State trails. It's Colt Myers, Kyle Jones, and Brendan Lawson. as that pitch misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Final line on Cooper Whited. A Florida State long outing of 3 2/3 for Whited. Gave up 3 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 earned run. Stokes, fastball misses inside. He'll show you a fastball, slider, and changeup. Fastball will, on occasion, hit 100. I haven't seen him personally hit 100 yet. The highest I've seen from him is 99. That last one was 96. The 2-0 pitch, and there's a slider that misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes now to Colt Myers. Myers struck out looking his first time up. Freshman hitting .214 on the season. 3-0 pitch now from Stokes. Fastball in there for a strike. Colt Myers, St. John's Country Day School. He's from St. Augustine. And Stokes now the 3-1 pitch. And that will miss inside. So Colt Myers walks against Cole Stokes, and that is the first walk in this ball game by either pitching staff, which stands in stark contrast to what we saw 2 weeks ago in Gainesville. Florida State walked 9 batters, and Florida walked 7 when these two teams met last time out. And now Stokes starts Kyle Jones off with a fastball, who Jones waves at it and misses. And the count is 0-1. Myers gets his lead off first, held there by Miles Bailey. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball inside. And the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch here to Kyle Jones. Ground ball towards third. Bavaro, only play will be to first. Throw is low, but scooped by Bailey. And there's one away as Myers moves over to second base. It's a nice pick over there by Miles Bailey. You had Bavaro in on the grass, and just didn't get to him in time to try for 2. And he made the right play there going to first. Miles Bailey with a good job scooping that throw. So now it's the left-handed hitting Brendan Lawson, as he takes the first pitch from Stokes outside for ball 1. Lawson 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a pop-out. Takes a fastball outside. 2-0 the count. Brendan Lawson, he's Canadian. He's from Toronto. And while he is from Toronto, he played at the P-27 Academy, where he was teammates with Florida State's Peyton Manka. P-27 Academy is up in South Carolina. And now with a 2-0 count, they go ahead and say they're going to intentionally walk Lawson, who leads the Gators in home runs and RBIs. So they send him down to first with first base open. And now they'll pitch to Cade Kurland. So they want to try to put the force at any bag, and also the better matchup of a righty in Kurland against the right-hander Stokes. And Kurland swings wildly at a first pitch slider and misses. 0-1 the count. The 0-1 pitch. Slider is in there for a strike. This time he started it at Kurland and spun it over the plate. And Kurland, who swung at one off the plate first pitch, took the one that was over the plate and now is in an 0-2 hole. Swing and a miss. And Curlin looked overmatched there as he strikes out. There are 2 away. That will bring up Carson Bowen. Bowen is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. Carson Bowen 1 for 2 with a walk and scored a run 2 weeks ago in Gainesville. Stokes checking the runner at second. Couple of looks at him, now delivers. And a slider misses outside for ball 1. Carson Bowen, a transfer from TCU. He's from Anaheim Hills, California. That'll miss low and outside, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes. Now the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball in the inside corner, strike called, make it 2-1. It's interesting to see a lot of California players in a ball game between Florida State and Florida. Florida State's got 3 California players. 2-1 pitch, that's hit down the line, but slicing foul. And it may seem weird on the surface, but I can remember a time back in the 80s when Florida State seemed to have a California pipeline in both the baseball and softball programs. Go back to the days of Chris Pollock and Jerry Nielsen and Don Erickson, all California guys on that Seminole roster. 2-2 pitch now from Stokes, runners going, and that pitch misses. Shmela didn't get the pitch cleanly in the glove, so he had to get control of it, didn't have a chance to throw, so it's going to be a double steal for the Gators. And now they've got 2 in scoring position with a 3-2 count here to Carson Bowen. Stokes delivers, and that misses. Bases loaded now for Ethan Surowick. 1-0, Florida State trails. We're in the bottom of the 5th. So Ethan Surowick, he has scored the only run in this game after a triple back in the 2nd inning. And he takes a first pitch fastball at 95 for a strike, 0-1 the count. First base side of the rubber for Stokes. Working from the stretch, he's to the belt, eyeing the runner at third. Kicks and delivers. Another fastball, another strike. 96 on that one, 0-2 now to Ethan Surowick. Surowick, a transfer from Ole Miss. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. So Stokes gets out of a bases loaded jam there. And we are through 5 complete here in Jacksonville, Florida at the ViStar Ballpark in downtown Jacksonville. Florida leads 1-0. We head to the 6th. Florida State will have Cal Fisher, Braden Dowd, and Kelvin Paulino due up when we return. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
No matter how busy life gets, your home is the place where your family and friends show you they care and celebrate with you. That's why the professionals at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning always make sure that your home is comfortable. Just like those who matter to you most, Barano will always be there for you. Schedule an appointment today at baranoac.com. That's baranoac.com. Noles fans, are you ready for game day? Tavello Brewing Company in Thomasville is just a short ride down the road. From our refreshing sangria, hard seltzer slushies, to the only place you can find our award-winning blackberry hibiscus hard cider, we've got something for every taste. Grab your crew and swing by Tavello. Let us help make your game weekend even better. Tavello Brewing Company. It's just better. Proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Go Noles!
This is Florida State Baseball.
Luke McNeely back out on the mound here for the Florida Gators. 9-1 and 2 spots due up for the Seminoles here. Florida State trails 1-0, top of 6. Sideways misting rain still coming down here at the ballpark. TOC is a proud partner of Florida State baseball. For the past 50 years, TOC has provided the highest quality comprehensive care to North Florida and South Georgia, one of the nation's premier sports medicine and orthopedic clinics. TOC, the team behind the team. So Cal Fisher will step in. He reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Fisher came into the game hitting .273, no homers, 14 runs batted in. And I keep saying that the home runs are going to come for Fisher. He had 8 last year, 6 as a freshman. This is probably not the night with the wind doing what it's doing. He pops that one up, fouling out of play. We have had steady winds coming in excess of 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 40 so far here today, to go along with that sideways misting rain. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2 the count now to Cal Fisher. Junior out of Deerfield, Wisconsin. Takes a little walk behind the umpire. Vic Carell now back into the right-handed batter's box, and Luke McNeely now the 0-2 delivery. And that'll miss outside. 96-mile-an-hour fastball from McNeely. 1-2 the count here to Cal Fisher. Fisher was 1 for 4 with 2 runs batted in Gainesville 2 weeks ago as he fouls that pitch off. Foul balls are presented by Renewal by Anderson Doors and Windows, a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Easy for me to say. 1-2 pitch. Fisher out in front of that one as he grounds it foul past Ty McGahee and down into the left field corner. Blake Sear will pick it up, toss it to a fan on that grass berm down there. Still a ball and 2 strikes to Fisher. He steps back in with 13 on the pitch clock, and now McNeely delivers, and that one is a swing and a miss. He chased a pitch off the plate, and there's one away. That will bring up Braden Dowd. So the Noles, who struck out 18 times 2 weeks ago in Gainesville, have struck out 10 times so far here tonight in 5 1/3 innings, as Braden Dowd now will be the batter. Dowd 0 for 2 with a strikeout, and then as he grounds the first pitch back up the middle, but it's gloved by Myers, the shortstop, and Dowd now 0 for 3 with a ground out, a fly out, and a strikeout. There are 2 down. That will bring up Kelvin Paulino. Paulino 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop out. 1-0 is your score. We're in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. That pitch will miss outside. Ball and no strikes. Paulino has hit safely in 10 straight games. That's in the air, and the wind is probably going to blow that one out of play as Strayer, the right fielder, gave chase, gave up on it before he got to the wall there. And again, we've had a couple of balls that have gone off bats towards right field that looked like they were going to be fair that have just gotten blown into the stands. 1-1 pitch. And you hear the Seminole fans trying to get the guys in garnet and gold fired up. The 2-1 now to Paulino. And that's going to be called a strike now, 2-2 to the freshman out of Thomasville, North Carolina. 2-2 pitch. Checked his swing, did not go around. Bowen tried to pull that one back into the zone there, but Vic Corral wasn't falling for that. So the count is full now to Kelvin Paulino Jr. with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Payoff pitch. Paulino hits one high in the air. And nobody knows where it is, and the wind's going to blow it. Paulino's rounding second and heading to third. That's going to go down as a triple for Paulino. Off the bat, Kyle Jones immediately put his hands up in the air in center field and said he didn't know where it was. Then Myers and Curlin, the second baseman and shortstop, they both went onto the outfield grass, but then the wind took it and blew it towards the right field foul line, and neither one of them could catch up to it. Paulino was sprinting because he knew the wind was an issue. He ends up with a triple. He's now got an 11-game hitting streak, and Miles Bailey is the batter here, and I can't imagine that Florida is going to pitch to Miles Bailey in this situation. Florida got their one run after an triple. Let's see if Florida State can do the same here. There is activity in the Florida bullpen, but again, they're going to pitch to him, but okay. No, they're not. So they intentionally walk Miles Bailey. I didn't think there's a chance in the world they're going to pitch to Miles Bailey there. And now it's Nathan Schmela. Well, Nathan Schmela did a good job of making North Carolina State pay when they intentionally walked Miles Bailey. Can Nathan Schmela make the Gators pay for intentionally walking Miles Bailey here as Kevin O'Sullivan heads out to the mound? McNeely so far, 2 2/3, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. He's going to leave Luke McNeely in this game as O'Sullivan heads back to the dugout. And the Noles fans, once again, trying to get their guys going here. Trailing 1-0. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Nathan Schmela, the batter. Schmela, a 7-game hitting streak. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Open stance from the right side against the righty Luke McNeely. And Schmela takes a cut at the first pitch, sends it foul back to Eli Putnam, the on-deck batter. No balls and a strike, the count. Here to Nathan Schmela. The 0-1 pitch from McNeely. Fastball, high and outside, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Schmela, the transfer from Dartmouth in his second year at Florida State. Came into the game hitting .349. He's got a couple home runs, 8 runs batted in. The 1-1 pitch now from McNeely. That hit him. That hit him. Schmela heading down to first base. Nope. They're going to say it's foul, or they're going to say it hit him. Both coaches are up out of the dugout. I don't think anybody's clear as to what was just called there. But it looks like, based on Link Jarrett's conversation with plate umpire Vic Carell, it was called a foul ball. It was called a foul ball, and Schmela must have told him it went off his bat, because Link did not want to challenge that, even though Florida State still has challenges in their back pocket. So 1 and 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch. Schmela, ground ball. Third baseman has it. He throws to second, and they're going to force Bailey out. Side retired. Noel Strand 2 here in the top of the 6th. So we head to the bottom half. Florida State trails 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is a level 1 pediatric trauma center for critical, life-saving care. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital, with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
It's game on, Knowles fans, no matter where you might be. From the backyard to the beaches, the Ford F-150 with available Pro Power on board gives you the power of a mobile generator. So as long as you've got a TV and a signal, you don't have to miss another game. Just one more reason why Ford F-Series has been the best-selling truck in America 48 straight years and counting. Ford, proud partner of Florida State Athletics. See your local Ford dealer today.
Florida State Seminoles trailing 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Cole Stokes back out on the mound for Florida State. He's the second pitcher of the night for the Seminoles. And he will face Blake Sear, Cash Strayer, and Colton Schwartz. Sunstop Food, Fuel, and More. Find everything you need under the sun at Sunstop, a proud sponsor of Florida State Athletics. So Blake Sear steps in. He is singled and reached on an error. So he's 1 for 2 on the night. And Cole Stokes now. Sorry, I said he's singled. He has doubled and reached on an error. Now, singled and reached on an error. That's right. He tried to go first to third and was thrown out at third base after his single. As he fouls that pitch off, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody on, nobody out. Florida State trails 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stokes kicks and fires. Fastball in too tight. And the count is 2 balls and a strike. We've seen Stokes 95 to 98 with the fastball so far here tonight as he sets. And the 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Good slider there from Cole Stokes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. That'll miss outside. Goes back to the slider there. And the count is full. 3-2 from Cole Stokes to Blake Sear, former Miami Hurricane. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Stokes gets the strikeout of Sear. That will bring up Cash Strayer. Stokes so far, 1 2/3 innings of work, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. One of those walks was intentional. And that's just one of the things that you're going to have to work around those with Cole Stokes, as that pitch is good for a strike. But you look at his career numbers last year, 20 1/3 innings at Oregon, batters only hit 130 against him. And he recorded 39 strikeouts in 20 1/3, as that one is in the air to left. Long run for Chase Williams, but he makes the catch near the foul line, and there's one away. The issue there with Stokes, he walked 16 in 20 1/3, but he only gave up 9 hits. So again, when you start looking at walks and hits per inning pitched, that's an acceptable number if you're not giving up the hits. If you're going to end up with a walks and hits per inning pitched in the low 1s or around 1, that's okay. Swing and a miss on the first offering there from Stokes. Swinging a foul ball, hit it straight back, and the count is 0-1. one is good for a strike. 0-2 the count as he goes to the slider on the first 2 pitches here to Colton Schwartz. Colton Schwartz 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs. Stokes now the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. And Cole Stokes retires the Gators in order here in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th. Florida State trails 1-0. And the Noles will have Eli Putnam, John Stutzer, and Chase Williams due up. When we return, you're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Hey, it's the Good Greek Spiro, and as a former police SWAT officer, I know what it takes to build a great team and to be a great operator. I've applied these principles in building the world's only total relocation company. From listing your house for sale to finding your dream home and everything in between, Good Greek can do it all. Good Greek also offers junk removal and auto shipping to complement our renowned moving and storage business. For your total relocation solutions, go to goodgreek.com.
Good Greek Moving and Storage, your superhero movers.
Behind the scenes of Seminole Athletics, there is a community of supporters who pledge their personal resources to provide all teams with the greatest opportunity for success. That community is Seminole Boosters. Seminole Boosters is the largest source of funding for Florida State athletics and serves as the difference maker for our athletic program. You can join the team behind the team for only $5 per month. Learn more or join today at SeminoleBoosters.com. That's SeminoleBoosters.com.
You're listening to Florida State Baseball.
So Luke McNeely's night is done. He came out of the bullpen for the Gators. 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. That was following Russell Sandifer, who started, went 3 innings, gave up 1 hit without a walk, and struck out 4. And now it's going to be Jackson Barberry, 6'4", 205-pound sophomore out of Snellville, Georgia, Brookwood High School. Snellville, Georgia, Parker Brunell. He was the backup catcher to Buster Posey on that 2008 College World Series team. He was out of Snellville, Georgia. So Jackson Barberry, the new pitcher, making his 11th appearance, all out of the bullpen. 1 save, a 2-2 record, an ERA of 2.95. He's recorded 24 strikeouts in 18 1/3, while giving up 11 hits and walking 9. They're going to do a little work on the batter's boxes here. Again, we've had quite a bit of sideways misting rain coming down here, and really started before the game and has only gotten more abundant as the game has gone. So they're going to actually work on the whole plate area. They're going to scoop some of the wet stuff off of the surface of the batter's box and catcher's box, throw down a little diamond dust, try to dry things out a little bit there, and we will get back to this game once they get that taken care of. Step up to the plate with Champions First Credit Union. Hit it out of the park with our champion level rates on auto, home, and personal loans. Plus, our high yield savings accounts help your money score big. Join today and take your financial game to the next level. Champions First Credit Union, your financial champion. So they are done working on the plate area. Now Eli Putnam will lead things off for the Seminoles. Florida State trails 1-0. We're in the top of the 7th inning, as that pitch misses outside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Putnam was 1 for 2 with a couple of walks. First time these two teams met, as he checks his swing but went around, and the count is 1-1 here. He's 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Fastball from Barberry at 97, misses outside, 2-1. Working from the windup, Barberry delivers, and Putnam fouls that one into the Gator dugout, which evens the count at 2 apiece. 1-0, Florida leads. Both teams with 3 hits. Florida State has 2 errors to just 1 by the Gators. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Putnam is out on strikes. There's one away. That will bring up John Stutzer, who has one of the 3 Seminole hits. He was thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple back in the 5th inning. And what a weekend he had against NC State. I think he'd be the first to tell you he did not have a good game on Friday, as he takes a fastball at 98 for a strike. Went 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts all looking, but then came back and had 6 hits in the next 2 ball games. The 0-1 to Stutzer is good for a strike at 98, and the count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. And that will bring up Chase Williams. So Chase Williams steps in. And the first pitch is good for a strike. Florida State now has struck out 12 times with just 1 walk tonight. The 0-1 to Chase Williams. Checked his swing. It's called a strike anyway, and the count is 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. A swing and a miss as Barberry strikes out the side. Noles go down in order. Middle of 7, time to stretch. Florida State trails 1-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Warmer months are coming, and don't find yourself in a hot, sticky situation. Get ahead of the heat with a spring checkup from Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. They'll make sure your HVAC system is ready, and you'll get a free duct system evaluation, too. Schedule yours at baranoac.com.
Want a bathroom upgrade without the weeks of hassle? T-Spark Enterprises can install your custom bath in as little as 1 day. Fast, professional, and stress-free. Call T-Spark Enterprises or visit tsparkconstruction.com. License CGC 1525336, CCC 1331204.
More than 10,000 children in the Florida foster care system live in institutions or group homes. Hi, I'm Tony Dungy, and you may have heard those numbers before. But it wasn't a number that convinced me and my wife Lauren to foster. It was a child's name. And it was the belief that every child deserves a loving family. So that's why I'm asking you now, can you make room for one more? Visit allprodad.com/one-more to learn more.
Cole Stokes back out on the mound for the Seminoles here as the Noles trail 1-0. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Colt Myers, Kyle Jones, Brendan Lawson due up. Stokes thus far for Florida State, second pitcher of the night. He's gone 2 1/3, striking out 4, walking 3. He is not allowed a hit. One of his 3 walks was intentional. They'll face 9-1-2 here. This is Stokes' career longest outing. He's gone 2 innings 6 times. He's now at 2 1/3 as the first pitch to Colt Myers, a slider for a strike. He's also exceeded his season high in strikeouts. He's got 4. That's good for a strike. And 1 more strikeout will be a new career best for Cole Stokes. 0-2 the count here to Colt Myers. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of 7 with the Noles trailing 1-0. Swing and a ground ball towards third. That's going to be foul. We'll stay at 0-2. Renewal by Anderson Windows and Doors, proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Our energy efficient Acclaim Impact windows and doors withstand Florida's harshest weather. Contact Renewal by Anderson today or visit bestwindowsflorida.com. License CGC 1527613. 0-2 pitch, another foul ball. That one will go towards the Seminole dugout. So again, we'll stay at no balls and 2 strikes. Myers, a freshman from St. Augustine. Oh-2 pitch. This is inside. No, it caught him. So Myers gets hit by the pitch. And that brings up Kyle Jones. So Kyle Jones, 0 for 3 tonight, will step in. Runner at first, nobody out. Noles trail by 1. Other scores from around the conference. Virginia Tech trails East Tennessee State 9-4 in the top of the 9th inning. Stokes, runner going, and there's no throw. Stolen base for Colt Myers. That's his 4th of the season. It's 1-0 here. Florida leads. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Florida State thinking they're going to bunt here. So Bavaro and Bailey both come in tight. Maryland leads Virginia 6-5, top of 7. Jones does show bunt. Bunts it to Bavaro. He will throw to first in time. So Kyle Jones gets a sacrifice. He's thrown out 5-3, advancing Colt Myers to third base. There's 1 out. Now Brendan Lawson will be the batter. Noles will intentionally walk Lawson and pitch here to Cade Kurland. So that puts runners at the corners with 1 out. Kurland's only had 2 opportunities with a runner at third and less than 2 outs. He's scored the run 1 time. He is 5 for 15 with runners in scoring position. He's going to try to bunt. Pulls the bat back, does not offer as that pitch misses. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Wind and rain both picking up here. 1-0 now to Kurland. Showed squeeze. Will he show it again? He does. And that pitch misses up and in. 2-0 now to Cade Kurland. One run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Gators. 0-3-2 for the Seminoles. And that one misses up and in. And again, Kurland was showing bunt and did not offer. I would think Kurland will be taking a pitch here. The 3-0 now from Stokes. And that one is good for a strike. Now make it 3-1 to Kurland. That was a fastball from Stokes. Stokes, first base side of the rubber. He kicks and deals. And that one misses. And now the bases are loaded here for Carson Bowen. And Micah Posey coming out. It is very dark down in the Seminole bullpen, so I can't tell you who's throwing down there. But there is somebody up and throwing. And I would imagine this is probably going to be Posey coming out to make a change here. Although he is addressing Stokes at the moment. And hasn't made any kind of motion down to the pen yet. Home plate umpire Vic Carell is coming out to break up the meeting, and Micah Posey's going to stick with Cole Stokes here. Bowen has walked, struck out, and grounded out. He's 0 for 2. Colt Myers at third, Brendan Lawson at second, Cade Curlin is at first. Carson Bowen, the transfer from TCU, facing Cole Stokes. First pitch misses, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Deep breath for Stokes as he gets the pitch call in from the dugout. It's to the belt and delivers. That'll miss outside. 2-0 here to Carson Bowen. Now the 2-0 pitch. And that misses outside. 3-0. Stokes now with the 3-0 pitch. Nowhere to put him. And he walks him. So a hit batter, a sacrifice, an intentional walk, and 2 unintentional walks. Mike Capozzi coming back out to the mound, and that's going to be it for Cole Stokes. We are going to get a Kowalski call to the pen here. For all your sausage needs, trust the Sausage King of Detroit. To order, hit the website, Kowality.com, Kowality.com. So coming out of the bullpen for the Seminoles looks like Cade O'Leary while he makes his way to the mound. We'll take a break. Florida State trails 2-0. Bases still loaded, only 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. And Ethan Surowick, the batter, when we return. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Florida Blue presents game-changing health solutions. Did you know you can relieve stress by doing yoga at a Florida Blue center and exhale, treating yourself to Florida Blue discounts, seeing a chiropractor covered by Florida Blue, having your own Florida Blue health consultant,
welcome,
or cheering on your team right now? Discover more game-changing health solutions at FloridaBlue.com. Florida Blue is a trade name of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida, Inc.
You're listening to Florida State Baseball.
Cade O'Leary, the new pitcher for the Seminoles. The transfer out of Mississippi State. 6'4", 197-pounder. He's a sophomore from Nashville, Tennessee. O'Leary comes in with an ERA of 5.91, a record of 1-1 in 7 appearances. He's thrown 10 2/3, allowing 11 hits with 11 walks and 14 strikeouts. Batter's hitting .268 against Cade O'Leary, and he will face Ethan Surowick here with the bases loaded and 1 out. 2-0, Noles trail. Back to those scores while he finishes his warm-up tosses. Maryland leads Virginia 6-5, bottom of 7. Campbell is up 4-2 on North Carolina State. They're in the top of the 7th there. Miami leads Florida Atlantic 10-4, bottom of 6. Wake Forest is up on Elon 7-1. They're in the top of the 6th in Winston-Salem. North Carolina and South Carolina, a little border war going on there at Truist Field in Charlotte, where we'll be playing the ACC tournament in May. North Carolina leads South Carolina 2-1. Western Kentucky has a 4-2 lead on Louisville. They're in the top of the 4th. Clemson trails Coastal Carolina 3-2. That's after dropping 3 games to Notre Dame over the weekend. As Surowick now faces Cade O'Leary. First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1. Duke defeated East Carolina today 9-8. Boston College over Northeastern 3-2. Pittsburgh a 13-4 winner over Kent State. And Notre Dame a 14-3 win over Western Michigan. Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. Cade O'Leary, fastball, cutter, slider, curveball, changeup. Fastball will top out in the 95 to 96 mile an hour range. The 0-2 pitch now from O'Leary. First base side of the rubber, kicks and fires. Swing, and that one's tapped foul. Ty McGahee will pick that up from the top step of the Seminole dugout. We stay at 0-2. One out here, bottom of 7, bases loaded. Florida State trails by 2. They need a ground ball. Get to the dugout and grab the bats. 0-2 pitch. That'll miss up high. And the count is 1-2 strikes. Will Bavaro, Cal Fisher, Braden Dowd due up for the Seminoles in the top half of the 8th inning. The 1-2 now from O'Leary. Ground ball, that's going to get through. Base hit, 1 run will score. They will hold Curland up at second. Throw gets by Bavaro, the cutoff man, but O'Leary was backing up. So everybody stays put. It's 3-0 now, bases still loaded. And Blake Sear will be the batter. Blake Sear, 1 for 3 on the night. Sear did not play when we met the Gators 2 weeks ago, as he takes a fastball inside for ball 1. Ball and no strikes. O'Leary delivers and misses up high. 2 balls and no strikes now to Blake Sear. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. Comes out of the glove of Schmela. And home plate umpire Vic Carell will send a new baseball out to Cade O'Leary. 2 balls and a strike to count. He'll wipe that one off and deposits it in the pouch, so that one will stay in play. 2-1 pitch. Strike called on the cut fastball, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. First base side of the rubber here for O'Leary, the transfer out of Mississippi State. 2-2 pitch. Back up the middle, that's a base hit. 1 run will score. Carson Bowen is waved home, throw coming in, and not in time. And the Gators lead 5-0 here. So it's been a hit batter, 3 walks, and 2 base hits so far in this inning. Runners at first and second now. Still 1 out. This is the 8th batter of the inning, Cash Strayer, left-handed hitter. Hits that one in the air. Bavaro Fisher over there in foul territory. Bavaro makes the catch. Strayer is out. That will bring up Colton Schwartz. So Colton Schwartz steps in. Runners at first and second. 3 runs across here in the 7th. Florida State trails. I said 5-0. It's 5-0. They've got 4 on the board here. There are 4 runs across in this inning. And then 1 back in the 2nd. So it's 5-0. First pitch is good for a strike. 0-1 the count here to Colton Schwartz. And that one misses and gets away from Schmela. Runners advance, so now 2 in scoring position. And a 1-1 count. Scoreboard operator's not having the best night. Currently the score's wrong and the count's wrong. Ball and a strike the count. Vic Carell trying to get the scoreboard operator's attention and let them know the count's wrong. Here's the 1-1 now from O'Leary. And that one misses. 2 balls and a strike now. Now they've got the score fixed. They do not yet have the count fixed. Carell waving the count above his head once again. The 2-1, that's in the air, center field. Actually left center. Chase Williams coming in. Dowd there as well. Dowd will call for it, make the catch. And the side is retired. But 4 runs across for the Gators here in the bottom of the 7th. We head to the 8th. Florida State trails 5-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Hey Seminole fans, warm weather is approaching and you know what that means. Bugs like termites, mosquitoes, and roaches will be out in full force. Luckily, you can trust the pros at Arrow Exterminators to keep your home pest-free inside and out. Arrow protects homes and businesses in the Tallahassee area and is a proud partner of Florida State Athletics. So you know that you're getting the best from the best. To set up a free pest inspection, call 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com. That's 888-GO-ARROW or visit arrowexterminators.com.
At ViStar Credit Union, we go the extra mile to bring Florida State fans better banking. Open a ViStar Plus checking account and unlock up to $570 in annual savings. Enjoy perks like getting paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit, identity and phone protection, and so much more. All for just $5.99 a month. To learn more, visit one of ViStar's local branches or visit ViStarCU.org. ViStar Credit Union, proud partner of Florida State Athletics. Go Noles!
This is Florida State Baseball.
Florida State Seminoles trailing 5-0 as we go to the top of the 8th. It'll be Will Bavaro, Cal Fisher, Braden Dowd due up for the Seminoles here. Jackson Barberry back out on the mound for the Florida Gators. So Bavaro to face Barberry. Bavaro 1 for 2 tonight. Barberry's faced 3 batters and struck them all out. Congratulations to the FSU golf team. They finished 5th at the Valspar Collegiate Invitational. How about Tyler Weaver wins the tournament and he gets an exemption into the Valspar PGA tournament as the winner. First pitch is good for a strike to Bavaro. The next one misses. Jack Bigham finished 19th at 7 under. Patrick McCann, 4 under, finished 30th. So a good weekend against a very tough field as Bavaro lines one into center field. A running catch by Jones, and there's one away. They had 5 of the top 10 teams in the country, 12 of the top 30 at that Valspar Collegiate. So a nice 5th place finish by Trey Jones and his team. Fisher takes strike 1 here from Jackson Barberry. 5-0 Noles trail, top of 8. Swings and sends that one foul out of play. 0-2 now to Cal Fisher. 98-mile-an-hour fastball there from Barberry. That one is lined foul down the left field line, so we'll stay at 0-2. Noles fans, agents who are realtors, have the expertise to guide you as you make your next move. Find a realtor. Remember the Tallahassee Board of Realtors today at tbrnet.org. Another 0-2 pitch. And another foul ball there by Cal Fisher. 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Gators, 0-3-2 for the Seminoles. Third 0-2 pitch. Fisher checks his swing on a pitch that misses outside. And the count is 1-2 strikes. That bottom half of the 7th is going to be one Florida State will want to forget. 4 runs on 2 hits. 3 walks and a hit batter. Fisher, protect the plate mode there, fouls one off. And the count stays 1-2 strikes. Another 1-2 pitch. Check swing, too high. And the count is 2-2 strikes. Nobody on, 1 out. Noles need a big inning to get back in this one. 2-2 pitch. Another check swing. He did not go around as they peeled down to Damian Beal at first base. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The count here as Fisher back in the right-handed batter's box. Barberry, the payoff pitch. That misses. So Cal Fisher draws the walk, and now Braden Dowd will be the batter. Dowd is 0 for 3 tonight. He has yet to reach base. He's got a 12-game streak of reaching base safely and a 5-game hitting streak. Dowd back in the 3rd inning hit one that I wasn't sure we'd see a ball hit out that deep in this ballpark with the wind the way it is tonight, but a fantastic catch by Blake Sear as he takes ball 1 inside. There is activity in the Florida bullpen. Josh Reitnauer has 2 saves on the season. That's probably who is up throwing. Dowd hits one to center, but it's going to be right at Jones. 101.5 off the bat, but Kyle Jones only had to run back about 6 steps to get to it. And there are 2 outs. That will bring up Kelvin Paulino Jr. So Paulino, who has an 11-game hitting streak, he tripled back in the 6th. Two outs. Barberry with the pitch. And that's called a strike, and the count is 0-1 to Paulino. Gives the plate a tap. He's ready. Open stance from the right side. The 0-1 pitch. Checks his swing. That one gets away from the catcher, but it stays right in the dirt area around home plate. So Fisher's got to stay put. And the count is 1-1 now to Kelvin Paulino. He has been so good all of this freshman campaign. Noles need him get a base hit here. That's good for a strike, and the count is 1-2 now to Paulino. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. He did not go around. 2-2 now as that evens it up. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at first. Barberry delivers. A swing and a miss by Paulino, and the side is retired. Knowles strand 1 here in the 8th. We head to the bottom half. Florida State trails 5-0. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Scott and Wallace, the official injury lawyers of the Florida State Seminoles. Located in the heart of Tallahassee. Founded with a commitment to community and a will to win. Join Scott and Wallace at Dick Howser Stadium with the Animals and the best fans in college baseball all season long. Scott and Wallace, real trial lawyers, real results.
Dining room, picnic, tailgate, or conference room. Whichever table you gather around, we'll be sure there's plenty to go around. Bring them together with barbecue. Grab Sonny's to go, or let us cater your next shindig with all your slow smoke favorites and sides. Available for pickup, delivery, or set up and serve. Order now at Sonny'sBBQ.com. Sonny's Barbecue. Local pitmasters since '68.
Knowles will go to Manny Lantigua here. 6 foot, 197-pound freshman out of Delray Beach, Florida. Attended St. John Paul II. And he is making his 3rd appearance of the season. No record, an ERA of 4.50. He's thrown 2 innings, struck out 4, allowed 2 hits and 1 run. And he will face the 9, 1, and 2 spots in the Florida Gator lineup. Knowles trail 5-0 here. For any child that needs care, Wolfson Children's Hospital is always here. Wolfson Children's, official children's hospital of Florida State Athletics. Knowles are back home after this game as Duke comes to town this weekend. 3-game set, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6 p.m., 2 p.m., and 1 p.m. The start times for those 3 games. Duke is currently 17-10. They are 4-5 in Atlantic Coast Conference play, and they got to win tonight against a pretty good East Carolina ball club. Clemson has rallied against Coastal Carolina. They were down 3-1. They're now leading 7-3, a 5 spot in the 4th for the Clemson Tigers. The Noles would take a 5 spot in the 9th, or 6 or 10 or any number of 5 or more. As Manny Lantigua, first pitch, fastball, misses up high, and the count is a ball and no strikes. And that one will miss. 2-0 now. Knowles will finish out the month of March with a trip down to Stetson, which is actually the front end of a fairly long road trip for the Knowles. That's on the inside corner for a strike. Make it 2-1. So the last day of March, the Knowles are at Stetson. Florida State will actually go down there Monday. Play Stetson Tuesday, then fly out of Daytona up to Charlottesville for a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Next weekend against the Cavaliers. It's a very good Virginia ball club. And then after the Virginia series, we play Florida for the 3rd and final time this year. That one will be in Tallahassee. 2-2 now. Lantigua, the windup and the pitch. That misses inside. And the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. It was thought that Lantigua would be a 2-way player. He's still listed as a pitcher and infielder on the roster, but he is focusing exclusively on pitching presently. That one is fouled out of play. And the count still full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. I don't know whether that's going to be the plan for all of Lantigua's time in college, but it is right now what's going on with him. Payoff pitch. Misses outside, and he walks Colt Myers. That will bring up Kyle Jones. So Kyle Jones, he's 0 for 3 tonight. Ground out, fly out, strikeout, and sacrifice. And that pitch will miss outside. Jones, 6'3", 190 pounds. When he went into the portal after his freshman year at Stetson, that was one that, when I saw that name pop up, I was like, he will fit in very nicely at the highest level of college baseball. Didn't exactly want him to end up at UF, but I thought he would fit in very nicely at this level. But then he had a devastating knee injury last year early in the season. But it was early enough that he was able to get a medical red shirt, and so he's now a redshirt sophomore. 2-0 pitch. Popped him up. Middle of the infield. Lantigua is there, and he's going to take that himself. So he makes the catch, and there's one out. That will bring up Brendan Lawson. It's one you probably want somebody else to come in and take over in that situation. But I just got done talking about Lantigua being looked at as a two-way player when he initially signed, so you've got a guy that can handle himself in the infield there. As Brendan Lawson now faces a shift, runner going, throw down, not going to be in time. And I think that one was stolen on Lantigua. Second stolen base of the game for Colt Myers. He got a big jump. Now the 1-0 pitch. That one misses. 2 balls and no strikes now to Brendan Lawson. And now they're going to, with first base open, intentionally walk Lawson. That's the second time now Colt Myers has stolen a base in front of Lawson, and Lawson then has been intentionally walked after. And I think if you'd go back and rethink that, if you know that's what they're going to do, you probably don't want Colt Myers to take off there in that situation, because you'd rather have him pitch to Brendan Lawson than intentionally walk him. But now it's first and second with one out. Mike Capozzi out to the mound here. It's the third time tonight Florida State has intentionally walked Lawson. And we're going to get a Kowalski call to the pen here, as the Noles will go to Ben Barrett. And as he makes his way to the mound, we will take a break. So Kowalski call to the pen, Ben Barrett coming in. For all your sausage needs, trust the Sausage King of Detroit. To order, hit the website, Kowality.com, Kowality.com. So Benny Barrett into the game, one of the team's captains, and while he gets his warm-up tosses in, we'll take a break. Noles trail 5-0 here with runners at first and second, one out. Kate Curlin, the batter. When we return, you're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Do we buy or rent?
How do I understand the housing market in my area?
How many bedrooms? How many bathrooms?
What's affordable in the neighborhood I want to buy?
Does it have a 2-car garage?
Does it have a fireplace?
What about a pool?
Does it have vaulted ceilings?
A realtor is your neighbor and ally, someone who understands your dreams and has the expertise to make them a reality.
Call a member of the Tallahassee Board of Realtors today. Visit us online at tbrnet.org to find a realtor.
The Tallahassee Board of Realtors, serving our community since 1935.
Seminole fans know that when their health is on the line, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare is here with the most advanced medical care in the region. TMH is home to the top heart and vascular program, the highest level of care for premature babies, the area's most powerful cancer center, and the region's only Level 2 trauma center. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
You're listening to Florida State Baseball.
So Ben Barrett into the game for the Seminoles. And he'll face Cade Curlin with runners at first and second. There's one out. Barrett making his 5th appearance of the season. He's allowed 3 hits while striking out 6 and walking 3 in 2 1/3 innings. Barrett, 6'4", 220-pound senior out of Orlando. He attended the First Academy. And I think he's got a pitch comm issue, so he's coming off to get a new device. And now he'll head back out to the mound. Fastball, slider, changeup for Barrett. And the first pitch, fastball at 91, good for a strike. 5-0. Noles trail. 5 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the Gators, 0-3-2 for the Seminoles. Runners going, throw down to third. They call him safe. Bavaro tells the Seminole dugout to challenge that one, so Link Jarrett is going to do so. And we are in another Sunstop Second Look, folks. Be sure to visit one of their 80 stores in North and Central Florida, South Alabama, and South Georgia. Join Sunstop Rewards today. Shop more, save more. Sunstop is a proud sponsor of Florida State Athletics. So they will go off and take a look at this. It is first base umpire Damian Beal and second base umpire Jason Bradley going off to review this one. The review monitor is right behind home plate, so they go out the gate behind home plate and go down into the tunnel there to take a look. I will give this crew kudos. Their reviews have been very quick here tonight, so we haven't had a whole lot of time to sit and wait and try to figure out what they were doing. Did not have a good look at that because Bavaro's body was blocking my view of any kind of tag there, so I don't really know whether that was the right call or not. But pretty quick review once again. So Bradley and Beal coming back out. And Jason Bradley, the crew chief, will come out and tell us what they decided. And they say that he is safe. That's Florida State's second challenge, but it's the first one that was unsuccessful, so FSU still has one challenge remaining. The Noles will bring the infield in now with runners at second and third and 1 out. 1-1 pitch here to Curlin. Ground ball towards third, foul. Ball and 2 strikes. Barrett sets, kicks, pitches. And he misses outside with a slider. Ball and 2 strikes now. Rain has let up a little bit now, and it's not quite as sideways as it was earlier as the wind has died down a little bit. Here's the pitch. And it looked like Vic Carell wanted to come out and call that a strike, but he kind of flinched, and that's why that reaction from the fans is what it is, because Carell kind of jerked his body a little bit there, but then didn't call it a strike, so the count is 2-2. Barrett delivers. That'll miss outside, and the count is full. Cade Curlin, the batter, first base open, runners at second and third, 1 out, with Florida State trailing 5-0. Payoff pitch. Line drive caught by Fisher. Throw to third is in time. They get the double play. So the line drive is caught, and then Colt Myers is doubled off of third base to retire the side. We head to the ninth. Florida State needs 5 runs to keep this going. And the Noles will have Miles Bailey, Nathan Schmela, and Eli Putnam due up. When we return, you're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
At TOC, our physicians are fellowship trained and board certified specialists with the most advanced training in the region. Our mission is to provide the highest level of care for sports medicine, joint replacement, pain management, foot and ankle, hand and wrist, spine, trauma, pediatrics, and non-surgical medicine. Every specialty, every treatment option. TOC, only experts. Learn more at teamtoc.com.
What's Here is a place that generations have trusted to help their kids grow up healthy and strong. What's Here are caregivers with knowledge and expertise rivaling any children's hospital in the world. What's Here is a Level 1 pediatric trauma center for critical, life-saving care. What's Here is Wolfson Children's Hospital with the technology, research, and dedication to save and change countless young lives. Wolfson Children's, always here. Visit wolfsonchildrens.com.
Jackson Barberry back out on the mound for the Gators here, as Miles Bailey set to start things off for the Noles. Bailey is in the on-deck circle swinging a bat, and then I see Brody DeLamiere up, so it looks like he'll hit for Nathan Schmela. And then I also see, well, DeLamiere could be hitting for Putnam because I see Carnes with a bat as well. So Bailey's going to hit, and then it looks like DeLamiere is going to hit for Schmela, and Carnes is going to hit for Putnam. So Miles Bailey to start things off. He is 0 for 2 tonight with a walk. That was intentional back in the 6th inning. And the first pitch is good for a strike. The 0-1. Bailey swings and misses, make it 0-2. And that one will miss. Bowen holds it there for just a split second longer than normal to try to show Vic Carell the corner, but Carell didn't give it to him. The 1-2 to Bailey. That misses inside. Carell again saw Bowen hold that one there just a little while longer. 2-2 now to Miles Bailey. Here's the pitch. And a foul ball straight back. 97-mile-an-hour fastball there from Jackson Barberry. Another 2-2 pitch. That'll miss inside, and the count is full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bailey, the ACC Player of the Week this last week. And that one misses. Miles Bailey draws the leadoff walk. That will bring up Brody DeLamiere now to hit for Nathan Schmela. Noles fans, join us tomorrow night for Inside Seminole Baseball with Link Jarrett from 7 to 8 live at Bowden's in College Town. Enjoy food and drinks at the FSU-themed bar and grill. Hear from the head coach, players, and more. For those who can't make it, watch the show live on all Florida State baseball social platforms or listen in on the Seminole Sports Network. So Brody DeLamiere to pinch hit here, batting .250, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. And that pitch is called a strike. The 0-1 now to DeLamiere. Yeah, that one's good for a strike as well. He's had some very good results in the city of Jacksonville. He's from St. Augustine, not far away. 0-2, that's fouled out of play. He's homered at JU a couple of times. He's homered in this ballpark against the Gators. Florida State would certainly take that here. DeLamiere back in, 0-2 the count. Bailey held it first by Serwick. Another 0-2 pitch from Barberry. And that will miss up high. Ball and 2 strikes now to Brody DeLamiere. One-two pitch. This is outside, 2-2. His cousin Blake played at Jacksonville. They both went to Bartram Trail. It's also the alma mater of Alex Lodis, who had that grand slam walk-off for the cycle last year against the Gators here. DeLamiere in the air, center field. Kyle Jones is there. He'll make the catch. And that will bring up, actually we're going to get Noah Sheffield hitting here for Eli Putnam. I thought it was going to be Carnes. Carnes still has a helmet on and a bat in his hands, and it looks like he's going to be hitting for Chase Williams if that spot comes up this inning. So Noah Sheffield batting .268 on the season, 2 homers, 23 runs batted in. And he takes ball 1 low. Noah Sheffield, he's in an 0 for 17 rut right now. You'd love to see him get a base hit, something that can get him going past tonight, as that'll miss outside, 2-0 the count. Barberry with the pitch. And that one is popped up. Short left field. Myers going back. Sear coming in. Nobody's going to get to it. That's going to be a base hit for Sheffield. And now the Noles with runners at first and second, 1 out. John Stutzer will be the batter. That's the 3rd pop-up we've seen give fits to the defensive team. Eli Putnam dropped one earlier in the game, and Kelvin Paulino ended up with a triple after one in short center field that Florida couldn't handle. As John Stutzer now will be the batter. Stutzer is 1 for 3 with a double. Bailey down at second, Sheffield at first. That'll miss outside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Noles trail 5-0. Carnes in the on-deck circle, so he'll hit for Chase Williams. Stutzer takes ball 2 outside. And that's going to cause Carson Bowen to go out to the mound here and have a word with Jackson Barberry. Lefty and a righty throwing down in the Florida bullpen. I'm assuming, and again, it's very dark down in the bullpens, so I can't see who that is throwing. But I'm assuming the right-hander is Joshua Reitenauer. And my guess on the lefty is Ernesto Lugo Canchola. The 2-0 pitch. Stutzer swing and a miss on 96-mile-an-hour heat. The count is 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. And that's good for a strike. Make it 2-2. Stutzer out of Pope High School in Marietta, Georgia. 2-2 now from Barberry. Swing and a miss. Stutzer strikes out there, 2 away, and that will bring up Hunter Carnes. That is the 15th Seminole batter to strike out tonight. So Hunter Carnes will pinch hit here for Chase Williams. Carnes hitting .333, no homers, 2 runs batted in. Noles have runners at first and second now with 2 outs. Scoreboard operator still only has 1 out on the board. As Carnes foul tips the first pitch into the mitt of Carson Bowen. 0-1 the count. Now the 0-1 from Barberry. It'll bounce in, gets away from the catcher. Bailey heads over to third, and Sheffield over to second. 1-1 the count here to Hunter Carnes. Carnes, a Jacksonville native. He's from First Coast High School here. One count to Carnes. Barberry delivers. And that's good for a strike, make it 1-2. Two outs, ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And that misses. Much to the chagrin of the Gator fans still here, a lot of this ballpark is emptied out on both sides. The 2-2 now from Barberry. And Carnes lifts that one, fouling out of play. Will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch, and that one will miss. Count is full, 3-2. Will Bavaro is due up next if Carnes can get on here. Here's the payoff. Check swing, he went around. Carnes wanted them to appeal down to first, but Vic Carell, the home plate umpire, called that one himself. And the Noles are not pleased with Vic Carell at the moment, but nothing they can do about it as the umpires leave the field. And this ball game is over. The Gators win 5-0, so they have taken the first 2. We'll play again in 2 weeks in Tallahassee. But now the Noles will head home and take on the Duke Blue Devils this weekend, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 3-game series. Florida State now 19-5, while the Gators improve to 20-6. We'll step aside, come back. Sunstop postgame show is coming up next. You're listening to Seminole Baseball from Legends Global.
Seminole fans, it's time to cheer for our healthcare partner for life, Tallahassee Memorial Healthcare. Serving 21 counties across North Florida and South Georgia, TMH provides cutting-edge, life-saving medical care for the Big Bend region. TMH is setting new standards for medical excellence, driving research and innovation to bring the best care to our region. TMH is your lifelong partner in health.
It's Truck Month with the Ford Crew.
Care for a Truck Month trivia contest, Sam?
Ooh, you know I can't resist, Hank.
Okay, fact. Truck Month happens only once a year.
Fact. It's the best time to buy a new Ford truck.
Fact. Ford F-Series is the best-selling lineup of trucks in America for 49 years.
Fact. America loves Ford Truck Month.
Fact. I agree with that fact.
Based on 1977 to 2025 CY Industry reported total sales.
Let's wrap up today's game with the Sunstop post-game show from the Seminole Sports Network. Sunstop, food, fuel, and more. Find everything you need under the sun at Sunstop. proud partner of Florida State Athletics. The Sunstop Post-Game Show is also brought to you by SeatGeek, the official ticket marketplace of FSU baseball. Find tickets to Noles games and more. SeatGeek. By Coca-Cola. Fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola. And by Truist, official retail bank of Florida State Athletics.
It's time for the Sunstop post-game show as the Seminoles fall 5-0 here to the Florida Gators in Jacksonville at Five Star Ballpark, the baseball grounds downtown. And we had a 1-0 game going into that 7th inning, and then the 7th inning, the wheels just kind of fell off for Florida State as the Gators scored 1 run in the 2nd, and that was off just a kind of a bleeding hit down the left field line. Chase Williams tried to dive and make a catch. He couldn't catch it, and it ended up rolling almost all the way to the wall, which allowed Ethan Surwick to get over to third base. He ended up scoring on a safety squeeze, which made it 1-0. And then, like I said, the wheels just kind of fell off in the 7th. Colt Myers was hit by a pitch. Kyle Jones sacrificed him over to third after Myers stole a base. Brendan Lawson was intentionally walked. Then Cade Curlin walked as he was trying to squeeze Colt Myers home. That loaded the bases. Then Carson Bowen walked, which plated a run, made it 2-0. Ethan Surwick singled, that scored 1 run. And then Blake Sears singled, which scored 2 runs. And that ended up being a 4-run inning. And the Noles found themselves trailing 5-0, and that's where we would end up. In a ball game played in very high wind, cool temperatures, and a misting sideways rain the entire time. The wind has finally started to die down a little bit. Rain's still coming down. It's not going sideways anymore, but hopefully I too have to make that trip home. The team will make that trip home and get ready for the the Duke Blue Devils coming up this weekend in Tallahassee. Tomorrow night, don't forget to come join us at Bowden's in College Town from 7 to 8. We'll have Seminole Baseball with Link Jarrett. You can enjoy food and drinks at the FSU-themed bar and grill, hear from the head coach, players, and more. For those who can't make it, you can watch the show live on all Florida State baseball social platforms or listen in on the Seminole Sports Network. So that's going on 7 to 8 tomorrow. So don't forget to come out and join us if you can't make it. Tune in. It should be a good time. We'll chat with Link. And like I said, we've got a couple of players that I know of coming by, so we'll have a chance to talk to them as well. In this one, 5-0 Florida wins. Russell Sandifer went 3 innings. He gets the win. It was a controlled start, so they can give him the win even though he didn't go 5 innings. He's now 1-1. Jackson Barberry gets the save. Cooper Whited gets the loss, but he deserved better than that, as Whited went 3 2/3, which is his longest outing as a Seminole. Gave up 3 hits and 1 run without a walk, and he struck out 4. Cole Stokes went 2 2/3, didn't allow a hit, but walked 6 batters and hit 1 while striking out 4 and giving up 4 earned runs. Cade O'Leary, 2/3, 2 hits. Manny Lantigua, a third, 2 walks and no hits. And then Ben Barrett came in, got a line drive where they were able to double up a runner at third base. So he pitched 2/3 of an inning in this one. But yeah, I thought Cooper Whited looked very good. And that's going to be an arm that I think Florida State's going to have to rely on quite a bit. What role he ends up having, I think a lot of that depends on Peyton Manka and when he's able to come back. Right now, you only have 3 left-handers on the staff. That's Peyton Manka, Cooper Whited, and Kevin Meeble.